everyone, and welcome to L.A.L. Nutrition. My name is L.A.L.L, and I'm a holistic nutritionist. And today I wanted to talk about emotional eating and sort of ways to recognize it and how your emotions are actually creating this relationship with food. I've experienced this in my past, and I'm just going to preface this by saying that I don't think you ever really get over emotional eating. You learn to manage it and you really minimize it, because food is always a part of our lives. Like other addictions or sort of issues, let's say you had, you turn to drugs or drinking or something like that you can eliminate from your life. Food is something we can't eliminate from our lives. So it is really about managing it and creating a healthy relationship with food. So the reason I want to talk about emotional eating is that it was a really big part of me creating a healthy relationship with food and my body, and just really finding the root cause of why I was doing what I was doing around food and feeling out of control. At sort of my worst points with emotional eating was that I would have in one sitting 3 or 4 meals, and I eat a lot in general, but this was just, I was very aware of it. Sorry if you hear any noise in the back, my son is just here playing. So emotional eating, what I've learned and what is really, I think is happening is that let's go back to childhood or even the fact that food is pleasurable. And I notice this because my son is 2, and whenever he's feeling certain feelings, and even just from my own emotional work, it is, as a society, we try to avoid or distract or not experience uncomfortable feelings like sadness, anger, or even as kids if we're, shamed or criticized. And so maybe as kids, if we were feeling uncomfortable feelings like sadness or anger or something, our parents would try to distract us or give us some kind of food, and maybe we created this association. Even if it wasn't coming from our parents, we learned that food made us feel good. And so we use that sort of as a crutch to bypass or not experience the uncomfortable feelings. So over time, we create this pattern where whenever we would feel something that didn't feel really great, whatever feeling, or it's probably more deeper like shame or some deeper feeling, that we then turn to food. And so in our minds, it's so fast, the connection, that we even bypass the feeling, we just go straight to the food. And the reason we kind of see it as an issue, unless, for me it was just feeling out of control around food or just eating large amounts and not really knowing why and feeling really stuffed after, my son, and just also gaining weight and just feeling like why don't I have a handle on this, whereas other people seem to be really good around food, all kinds of food. So as I got deeper into understanding and learning what was happening, I realized my association with food, and that when I kind of caught myself wanting the foods, I learned over time to sort of notice when I was wanting a certain food and feeling a certain way, and I would stop and then be present and journal and meditate and write and to really go into what was actually happening emotionally for me, because that was where the root was. And it's the emotion and going into the emotion and going deeper and deeper. And over time, you start noticing that that's the connection that, for me, going to the food was not looking at the emotion under it or the feeling that I was trying to avoid or not feel. And so as I started doing this process, it's just, I started just going to the actual feeling and getting to the root of it and feeling what I needed to feel, or crying if I needed to cry, or, angry meditations or sadness or frustration, whatever it was. So what would happen as I did that, I I started to create a more healthy relationship with food because it was no longer about the food. And I also talk about another way to sort of feel if it's a real true hunger is phantom hunger versus real hunger. So real hunger is in your stomach, phantom hunger is more in your head. And I did a video on sort of using water to figure out what's really happening and to really focus on where the hunger is. So through this process, I learned to, figure out how food was sort of a crutch. And, I see this more because like I was saying, my son is 2. And so whenever I just see in general, as a society, us trying to avoid feelings or distracting kids. And I mean, our parents probably did the same thing. I know my parents for sure did because I see it with my son. I see as we cut off the feeling, and I know this, it gets sort of stuck in our body, and that's why we sort of create this relationship with food. When we don't feel it, we need something to numb it. So I see this, with kids, they want to feel their feelings and express it, and if we allow them to fully feel the feeling, and if we allow ourselves to fully feel the feeling, then it sort of gets processed and we work with it. Because a feeling that gets stuck in the body, that sort of biochemical process in the body gets stopped. And so we don't fully process it. If you think about when you're stressed or angry, your cortisol is going up. That's a hormone in the body. It's a biochemical thing. Sorry for the camera moving. My son is just playing all around it. So I hope this video helps you. So it's really about, if you're noticing you're overeating, you're having this we all have emotional eating. I would say there's no one in society that doesn't to a degree, because there's fast food, there's addictive foods, and even just our association with food in general in society, abundance of food or lack of it. We have all these issues around food. So noticing if you are having sort of a more overt issue that you're feeling out of control about, and then going into, when you feel it, noticing it, and then if you can stop when you sort of see the pattern and go into the feeling and start writing about it or processing it, or you can see a practitioner, a therapist, or do healing work. But in that moment, it's hard to see a practitioner. In that moment, if you have journaling or some kind of set of questions that you ask yourself, and there's so many resources, or just sitting and meditating. And if you are at that, honestly, the most amazing thing is just to be present and let the feeling go through you without analyzing it or stopping it, just feeling the feeling without the thoughts or the whatever. Just feeling it and just following it in a meditation would be ideal. I'll fix it in a minute, love. I'll fix it in a minute. Would be best. So I hope this video has helped you. If you have any questions, please let me know. Please leave a comment. Please like this video and please share it. This is such an important topic, and I see it sort of everywhere. And in a lot of different people who might not even be aware of it, but it is important. If you are aware of it and you do need help, with support you can get to the root of it a lot quicker. I did it on my own, so it took a few years, but if you're doing it with support, you're becoming more aware, and people can, an expert or support can sort of see outside and have a different perspective. So again, I hope this video has helped you, and I look forward to sharing more with you. And sorry about the camera changes, my son is just playing here. So have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye! Bye.